Limitless divine beings of love and light. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Daniel. Today we're going to dive into another quantum teaching of Jesus. We are going to dive into, we've been doing a series on the triple thread cord, when you give, when you pray, when you fast. Today we are going to dive into when you fast from a quantum perspective, and we're going to see what Jesus was really talking about when we look at it from a quantum energetic standpoint about fasting. As someone who's done many fasts in my life, fasting from food, fasting from media, all sorts of different fasts, but mainly food. I've done numerous week to month-long juice fasts. I've done some even longer extended water fasts. I've done, numerous one-day fasts. And, it's really interesting the kind of spiritual results that you can get from it, and how it kind of clears away all of the worries and the dross and all the junk in your life. If you haven't water fasted before, what you can expect is the first 3 days, you're going to be very hungry. You're going to be fighting with your hunger tank. Okay. And then after 3 days, your hunger goes away. And it's pretty interesting how it lines up with that Jesus died and 3 days later was raised from the dead. There's something about that 3.5 day period where your hunger will completely leave. After that, then you're going to deal with your sex tank, so your sex hunger and your lust. And that's going to go on for about 3 more days. So from like day 4, 5, 6, 7 type thing, you're going to be battling with that. But then your body realizes, okay, I got no food and I don't need to procreate. They're both big energy things. I'm going to turn all of my senses on at about a week, and I'm going to just look for food. And you go into this heightened state of being where your body isn't worried about digesting anything. It's not worried about procreating. It's literally goes into a mode where, it's like deep ketosis is what it's called. It's almost a survival starvation state. But if you're doing it for spiritual purposes and stuff like that, it's totally okay. And actually ketosis is an amazing state to be in anyway. I believe that it is a metabolic state of enlightenment, so to speak. So it helps your body clean out and eat all of the junk. Your body goes into a state, your cells go into a state called autophagy. And what that means is auto means self and phagy means eating. So self-eating. So you start to eat out all of the garbage, all of the toxins, all of the junk out of your cells, all of the cells that aren't working very well. They go into a program state called apoptosis, which means cell death. And your body just starts to upregulate and and cleanse out all of the old stuff and just help you function on a much better level. But it can feel pretty tough. Like it can be tough not eating for that period of time and beyond. So, it's pretty easy to get into a low frequency state sometimes if you get caught up in, I need to eat, or I want to do this, or whatever the case may be. And so that's why it's always really important when you're fasting to continue to connect with spirit, to turn your fast into a spirit feast. So you're not fasting, well, you're abstaining from food, but you're feasting on the bread of life. You're feasting on the Spirit. You're feasting on gratitude. You're feasting on abundance. You're feasting on all of these beautiful internal states that help shape and transform your reality into who you want to be. Fasting is a great way to become hyper aware of the subconscious programs that you're running in your life so that you can become more present and you can realize, I want to get rid of those. I want to become somebody else. So let's dive into this. Let's see what Jesus says about fasting. We are in Matthew 6, verse 16. Whenever you fast, do not put on a gloomy face as the hypocrites do, for they neglect their appearance so that they will be noticed by men when they are fasting. Truly I say to you, they have received their reward in full. But when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face, so that your fasting will not be noticed by men, but will be noticed by your Father who is in secret, and your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. See, so we're back to the same concept. Jesus is hammering home the same thing over and over and over. his disciples, to everybody listening in these teachings, when you give, do it this way. When you pray, do it this way. When you fast, do not do it for men. Do not do it and be like, hey, you know what? Like, I'm so great. I just did this super long fast. I'm feeling amazing. You know, there's a difference about talking about fasting for educational purposes, for health-related purposes, for spiritual growth. And then there's another thing is when you actually are fasting, announcing it everywhere and be like, hey, I'm on this awesome fast. And you really need to check your heart of why you're actually saying that. Because the reality is if you are doing it to be seen by other people, which he's just saying here, then you're doing it out of a place of lack. You're doing it out of a place of selfishness, that you need accolades, that you need kudos from other people. And you know that you've received your reward in full, if that's the reality of it. Because what's happening is that you're actually projecting lack out of your heart. You're projecting, I need to do something in order to be something. And so that reality in your life is going to reflect back to you all of the lack, all of the brokenness, all of the other stuff that you don't want to have reflected. And so he says, when you fast, do not put on a gloomy face as the hypocrites do, for they neglect their appearance so that they will be noticed by men. So take care of yourself. Love yourself. So that other people won't see that you are just totally bunged up, because that's a great way that you can get accolades, attention from them. And I guess that's what was happening in Jesus' time. They were just growing their beards out. They were not washing their face. They were stinking up a storm, because when you fast, you detox and you really, really release odors and different things from your body. And so he's saying, don't do that. You know, keep your normal routine. Take extra good care of yourself, so you're not being seen as somebody who's really trying to make other people notice you. So then it says, but when you fast, anoint your head and wash your face. So it kind of already said that, like, don't neglect your appearance, but like do this. So what's the deeper meaning here? So to anoint your head with oil, your head is symbolic of the way that you think and the way that you feel. And we know that the oil in the Bible is the oil of joy. Okay? So anoint your thoughts. Anoint the way that you think and feel with the oil of joy. Because if you have the oil of joy, then you're going to feel amazing and you're going to be on a higher vibrational state, and it's only going to be amplified by your fast. Fasting is an amazing way to amplify the things that you feel and the things that you think. Because you go into all of that cell cleaning, that apoptosis and autophagy, and you start to clear away all of the brain fog and all of the junk and everything that's in your body, and you're crystalline clear so that you can see things very clear. Okay? And so if you're going to be releasing a frequency when you're fasting, you should be releasing the highest frequency of joy, of love, of connectedness. And then that will surely bring you a return from being reflected back to you in manifestation from the quantum field. And it says, it says, anoint your head and wash your face. So what's washing your face all about? Cleansing your identity. Your face is your identity. Your face is who you are. Cleanse that. See yourself clean. See yourself pure. See yourself divine. Anoint yourself with an identity. Believe in your heart that your identity is rooted in joy. Cleanse off all of the junk so that you can fully be and feel who you've been created to be as a divine being of light. He says, wash your face so that your fasting will not be noticed by men, but by your Father who is in secret, and what's done in secret will be rewarded in private. And so once again, it's not the sky god who is rewarding you. Oh my gosh, they just fasted 14 days or 40 days. I'm going to bless them. That's not it at all. If you follow the formula, if you follow the mechanics of the quantum physics of entering into that state of joy, of removing the dirt, removing the junk in your mind, entering into that state of joy, cleansing the way that you see yourself, cleansing your identity, washing your face, of all of the junk, washing your brain of all of the junk. And you live in that state in silence, and you release those emanations of how amazing you feel, of how awesome you feel, of all the things that you're going to accomplish in life, of how loved and supported you are by God in this divinely benevolent universe, of how great your life is. While you're fasting, it is going to be an accelerated emanation of these things being reflected back to you. But don't be like the Pharisees who are living in lack, that need affirmation from people outside of themselves, because they're actually getting the reward in full, and they're going to have stuff reflected back to them in their life that is going to challenge those fallen, false egoic, false personas that they're living in. So don't be like them. Be like the ones that are in alignment with love, that are in alignment with joy, that are in alignment with who they have been created to be from the beginning. And that's who you are. And there's not that many scriptures, so we'll just continue to, we're going to call this video at this one. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope this shedded some light about fasting. I hope this shows that all of these teachings are just about the quantum reality of the mirroring effect of getting our hearts right, because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So fast negativity, fast brokenness, fast all of the low-level states of being that you've been programmed with from this world, so that you can enter into a reality of the high state where you get rewarded in public. Shalom, friends. If you like this material, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe, hit the bell so you know the next ones are coming. Peace.